you were talking from the very beginning about dozens of subjects being in a medical study when there are tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of patients with that condition. And so it's conceivable that a tool like Abridge could someday be in real time saying there are 100,000 people in the United States currently afflicted with this condition, and of those, 20,000 were given this prescription, and there was this outcome. Like it's that kind of thing becomes possible when these data are being collected and when models are being run over them. But I know I'll give you a chance to comment, but I know I'm getting out of control.
No. I think um, I think that broadly, it's sort of like everything is possible, and I think that that's sort of the magic of this company. Like we like to talk about it as like a T-shaped company, where you could think of like the stem of the T would be like if that's all you had, that would be like one of these like other companies in the space that are more like just sort of pure commercialization efforts. Like the stem of the T is like that's the tip of the spear. That's the thing that has shot off and become a real like full-fledged go-to-market operation, a commercialized technology, something that's out there. But the base of the T is the more foundational R&D. This is like like if all you had was the base, you'd be a research lab, and if all you had was the stem, you'd be a kind of like pure commercialization effort of like, let's just kind of like grab the tools and wrap them in a software package and try to hit the market hard. And I think we see that there is a special connection between these, because you have we nail one problem and really do right by our customers. We're able to reach a level of quality that other people wouldn't be able to have if they didn't have the same caliber of scientists working, the same kind of technical acumen in the company. But also, we're able to learn from that data. We're able to come back and potentially, whether you think of it as like a new product line or you think of it as like, expanding the offering, we're able to develop new technology, and right, some of that effort in the kind of foundational R&D level is pursuing ideas that might be transformative in 10 years, but some of it is pursuing ideas that could be relevant, could be reshaping you know our current offering on the scale of like weeks to months. So I think that's you know I think the thing that's been special and that is really important to me to keep is that somehow we have this thing of like we have the foundational science happening, we have the commercialization happening, and we have all of them kind of informing each other, and we've been able to do it in a way where um, it's not like a siloed company, because like this is I think the like failure mode that I've seen so many times at companies is that you wind up in a place where like research is this like completely segregated out unit, and the people in the research, like the definition of a good manager in research is someone who keeps anyone associated with a product from coming anywhere near you. And you're like, it's like that kind of company where it's like your main job is just to maybe to kind of not touch the company data, to not really think about their business problems, to publish some papers. The value prop is like you make the company look good. There's reputational benefit. They get to be like a leader in AI. But there's not, there's this weird gap that forms of friction. Oftentimes there's even like a weird like elitism or hierarchy of like the product people think the research org folks are out of touch. The research people think the product people are not whatever. And I think that we've been able to like kind of, and obviously I think this challenge, it's easier to do it when you're a smaller company. So I don't mean to by any means be like, I figured it all out and Meta hasn't or something, that they're dealing, it's much harder on a larger scale. But to create a certain kind of energy where every single scientist feels directly dialed into the mission of the company, is directly aware of what's happening and deriving insights and inspiration from what we're seeing in the field, and is even directly wired in. We've been very clever about how we design the processes around how feedback is collected and where it's channeled, so that everyone's wired into it. It's also a lot easier to get excited about it when the form of feedback is you're getting like notes from the field from clinicians. It's written feedback often. It's personal. It's insightful. Sometimes they are even like designing features with us, because they're like, oh, I would have liked it if the app did this, this, this. And sometimes it's like, oh, that's why aren't we doing that yesterday? And other ideas, you're looking at it and you're like, well, that's a little bit sci-fi, but maybe you should take it seriously, and other ideas are kind of wild. Um, but I think that given the is you can get excited about it in a way that I think is hard to get excited about, like improving click through rates or something like that. And that feeling of impact, like it's a strong selection criteria. Like we have to select on talent and skill and grit and hustle, but we select really hard on like if someone's sort of like I could just as easily be doing this work for like a hedge fund or something, it's sort of like probably not a great fit for Abridge. And I think because we've selected on a certain kind of mission alignment, that's the glue that holds together the like kind of more foundational research, the near term research, the sort of like translation of models into a live product, the app engineers, the customer success folks, the go to market team. It's like strangely cohesive. Like every other organization I've been at, you're kind of like, like there's this sort of like engineers keep the business people away from me. And I think here we have this kind of energy that is made possible by a kind of belief in what we're doing.